Up next, we are having a panelist will discuss how to redefine infrastructure and the user experience across Web3. Please join me in welcoming Jason Cui from imToken Labs, who will give a speech about how to unveil account abstraction, how to unlock the revolutionary new applications. Let's welcome him. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Jason Cui from imToken Labs. I'm really glad to be here today to talk about how account abstraction unlocks new applications. Today's talk is divided into 4 parts. First, I will talk about what account abstraction really is, and then we will walk through some exciting application unlocked by its 3 key components: verification abstraction, execution abstraction, and guest abstraction. So what is account abstraction? To answer that question, let's step back and see what a blockchain account really is. A blockchain account is the interface between the user and the blockchain. It tells us 3 things. First, who can use the account? That's account verification. Second, what the account can do, that's account execution. And third, how the gas is paid, that's fee payment. Traditionally, users interact with the blockchain using EOAs, but those accounts are quite limited. They rely on a face verification mechanism, usually ETHAsia signature, and they can only be triggered by themselves to call single methods on single contract. And they also require the gas to be paid upfront in ETH. But account abstraction changed the game. It allows for programmable verification, and it supports both self-execute and trigger externally transaction across multiple methods on multiple contracts. And it also enables more flexible fee payment. Users can now pay before or after execution using custom tokens, or even completely free is sponsored. Those added flexibilities unlocks a wide range of new innovative applications. Now let's start with use cases of verification abstractions. It allows us to rethink how we prove the ownership of an account. Instead of relying solely on the ETHPanda private keys, users can now use passkeys, which offer similar levels of security as hardware wallet, but with much better user experience and no need to manage cipherings. And you can also imagine account being controlled by emails. Since emails is widely integrated into the Red2 service, using them to manage the account can make it much easier for newcomers to get started, and also help bridge the gap between the Red2 and the Red3. And you can even imagine AI agents have their own accounts, not just making them more decentralized, but turning them into fully independent digital identities who can control their own assets and interact with the blockchain by themselves. Verification abstraction also allowed more flexible permission. Instead of giving full access all the time, users can now grant limit or temporary access to the applications using session key or sub-account. So the application can act on behalf of user on some specific task without requiring approval for every single transaction, which is very helpful in on-chain game or automated DeFi. where too many prompts will ruin the user experience. Another nice feature is account recovery. Since the verification logic is programmable, developers can build in ways to recover account when the keys are lost or stolen, which is not possible with EOAs. Now let's see what execution abstraction makes possible. A great example is cross-chain execution. Right now, most cross-chain protocols only move assets around. That's because EOA cannot be triggered externally. But with execution abstractions, we can send both instruction and assets, so the executor can trigger the user's count on destination chain with the instruction and assets and carry out the transaction on behalf of users. Another nice capability is batch executions. Instead of sending multiple separated transactions like approving a token and then making a swap, users can now batch those executions into one single batch transaction. That not just save the gas, but improve the user experience and the composability. Another and even more exciting ability is combine the action across multiple depths. Today, users are limited to the feature provided by the depths, but with batch execution, user can mix the functionality across different protocols. That unlocks a new market called batch strategy market, where users can create or adopt batches to execute complex strategies. Now let's move on gas abstraction. Thanks to the gas abstractions, users can now have their transactions sponsored based on their identity or behaviors. And also, they can use stablecoin like USDT to pay the gas, which can make it much easier for newcomers to get started. Even better, users do not have to pay the gas upfront. With deferred fee payment, the transaction can go through first, and the fee can be paid afterward. That's huge for onboarding. New users with a claimable link can create a link and get the assets behind, and then use some of the assets to pay the gas. Low ETH needed in advance. And also, user can pay the gas with the token received from a swap. So the arbitrage trader do not leave ETH to cover the gas. Finally, piracy protocol benefits as well. Today, withdrawing from the piracy pool requires sending ETH to the destination address in advance, which will expose the users. But with deferred fee payment, user can withdraw from the piracy pool first and use the withdrawn assets to pay the gas, keeping their identity private. Now brings us to the end of the presentation. I hope today's talk would help clarify what account abstraction really is and how it unlocks applications through verification abstraction, execution abstraction, and gas abstraction. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Jason, for the fantastic sharing.